I've gotten UTIs from jerking off, dude. Like,
Are you ready for this? Are you ready for this?
It's another edition of KFC Radio on the Barstool Sports Network. We got drama. We got drama coming out of our fucking eyeballs here.
Bruins 3 games away from setting the franchise record.
Oh, Ohtani versus Mike Trout in the bottom of the 9th.
You know what's weird about that? If we go that for real
everywhere.
quick, everyone's talking about that matchup. Like, what a great matchup that was. No, it wasn't. It was a matchup in name. Ohtani fucking blew Mike Trout
dude.
out of the water,
Gassed
dude.
him. That looked like he was a nobody.
Yeah, that was.
Did you see the stat? Mike Trout has only struck out on 3 swings 6 times in his career.
Really?
It's like 6 times out of like 5,000 appearances or whatever the fuck it is. Like a crazy number.
That is.
Which is, it's like, does it really matter? Like, you strike out, you strike out.
Yeah.
But the fact that he does not swing and miss 3 times.
He went 0 for 3 6 times in his life is crazy.
And Ohtani did it right there on the spot.
I mean, that was...
Talk about a guy who, as much as we know, will dig my heels in on the World Baseball Classic when it comes to American baseball, Major League Baseball, and American fans. For Japan, we know, Japan and the Dominican, it's fucking crazy. So, Ohtani, we know, can perform on the biggest of stages.
Yeah.
Because he's like, if Mike Trout goes yard on me here, I have to like go home and kill myself in front of my family. I've shamed my entire name.
That is the best argument, and I didn't. I watched the top 9, the bottom 9, no top 9 in U.S., Mexico, Japan, and I watched from top 7 through after the Bruins game for the final. So I am hardly a massive WBC guy, but the fact that was missing. I've never watched a USA hockey game, track and field, gymnastics. It doesn't matter, and when. I kind of don't want them to win. But when the top 9 happened, yes. Ohtani came out, I was like, I wasn't rooting against USA, but I was like, I will feel really bad for Shohei Ohtani if he blows this.
And I think that
when USA played Russia, fucking 6 a.m. The Oshie game, I wasn't, and I love Ovechkin. I wasn't like, oh man, this would be big. Yeah, like I feel bad that Ovi has to go home.
That's because there's real juice. Yeah. There's real international competition, and maybe down the road. And by the time the 2026 WBC hits, the Mets will have a World Series, and I'll be like, I don't care, whatever. Then I can enjoy it. But there needs to be. You cannot fabricate that feeling. And right now, all the people who want to grow the game and love the sport, they just love the sport itself. I don't really love baseball. People are like, KFC doesn't love baseball. I'm like, you're right. I love the Mets. There's a very big difference. I don't like any other baseball besides the Mets baseball. And
I think that's a vast majority of people. I love hockey. I don't
watching the Canucks play the Sharks.
Yeah, I don't watch much. I watch the Bruins very large. I think we've already said that, and I'll tune into McDavid here and there. A big matchup, sure, but 95%, 99% of hockey I watch is Boston Bruins.
Is your team. Yeah. Basketball is very star-driven, so a lot of people kind of just tune in to watch individual performances. Football has fantasy sports, so people and gambling, so they watch everything. And baseball is a regional game that in America. And also, I don't think, like, to me, I think of America as like in Europe, you're rooting for your country almost the same way we are as like states and cities. You know what I mean? So it's like my national pride is New York. My bubble, my thing I care about is New York. And then within that, it's like the Mets and the Yankees is divided there. So it's like levels away from me giving a fuck about even my entire city, let alone my entire country, you know?
And it is also, again, having consumed a minimal amount of WBC, but just following on Twitter, I'm active. I'm a human being who's alive. I was aware of all the stuff going on. I knew we didn't send any good pitchers. I didn't know most of our lineup kind of sucked too.
We were top heavy. We had a lot. We had a lot of stars, and then it just
when I put it on for the top 7th, and it was whoever. It was 9-1-2, which is whoever 9 was, maybe Turner. No, whatever. It was 9-1-2, and it was blank, Betts Trout, and then Betts grounded. Whoever was up first hit a single. Betts grounded into a double play. Trout popped out to right, and then everyone was like, "Well, we're fucked now." Like, game's over. And I was like, what are you talking about? Who are 3, 4, 5 guys?
Right.
Like, the 3, 4, 5 in the eighth is not, in a 2-run game is hardly the game's over.
Right.
And
it was.
And
It was lights out. I also, like, homeboy who started the game, I can't remember his name because he's, like, the number 3 starter on the Diamondbacks. He's a fine pitcher, but, like, people were talking about this being the biggest baseball game in the world. It's like, well, then you said yesterday, well, then where's Justin Verlander?
Yeah.
You know? So all of those things aside, those are all points that I've been making over and over and over again that people just don't seem to listen to.
I will say it was it was fun. It had vibes to it. I don't get me wrong. I'm not like this sucked, but there is a part where you're like, well, where are the fucking guys?
And if you're...
Wait, wasn't Judge on the team? Where was Judge?
No.
He wasn't?
No.
I could have sworn I saw Judge in a USA jersey at some point.
I mean, maybe last time, but no. The Yankees didn't send their, like, stars because they're like, fuck this.
When people were like, this is over, I was like, Judge must be coming up next inning, right?
No, he's on the team.
That's crazy.
I mean, like, he's the face of baseball.
Yeah.
You know, like, as much as I hate to admit it, I always argue against it. It's like, he's the biggest baseball star, and he's not there. So, the main thing I couldn't stand was watching people almost be, like, happy that Ohtani struck him out there, and they were like, what a great moment that was. It's like, I agree. It's amazing for Ohtani. It's amazing for Japan.
It wasn't that great a moment. It was he blew him away.
It wasn't like a great at-bat, but I'm saying it was like, it was Trout, his teammate. There is
that had a lot more build-up.
Right,
than
the actual...
That at-bat was the fucking Broncos-Panthers Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Where it's like, oh, the Super Bowl's coming up. This is going to be huge. And then it started, you're like, this is a fucking bloodbath.
Disaster of a game. Yeah. That is... But that aside, like, the fact that I know all these guys telling me that, like, they're so patriotic and it's all about America, we're like, wow, that was awesome. Fuck that. Yeah. The whole international competition thing needs to be, like, almost bad blood where you're like, fuck these other guys. It's all about America. That is all what it boils down to, is the baseball community just loves... It's the ultimate please like my sport. And it finally got on a grand scale, and it was excited, and it was being enjoyed. So they were just, like, coming themselves.
I can see it being a turning point. I haven't seen that much baseball talk on Twitter.
I know.
In a long time.
Right.
It, I maybe ever. I don't know.
I do wonder if it wasn't an argument, what it would have been like. Or, like, basically, if I wasn't around, what it would have been like. Like, would it have just been people being like, this is awesome, play, but there was no...
Like, when Schwarber hit that bomb, that was, like... I mean, it was... We talk about it a lot, how Twitter was our thing, and how we got Tank Sinatra on this episode.
What did Schwarber do?
Schwarber went deep in the eighth to make it 3-2. And it was a fucking monster at bat. I think he fouled off 8 pitches in a row, 6 in a row, something like that. It was on pitch 10. He hit a fucking moonshot to right, and it was like, all right.
And Turner hit I thought Turner hit a big home run. That was the first home run.
I don't even know how they got there. By the time I turned it on, it was 3-1.
Got it.
But yeah, Schwarber went big fly in the eighth, and it was like, oh fuck, this is gonna be turned into another one of those.
What was the crowd cheering for? Were they cheering for, like, both sides, or was it heavily American, or what?
I couldn't really tell
like
sound.
Every
crowd shots
play
had a good
I
mix.
Heard,
it was crowd shots. There were a lot of Japanese
because
people in the crowd.
I feel like in the beginning rounds in Miami, it was a lot of the Caribbean teams. So I feel like those were heavy Puerto Rican, Dominican, Cuba, all that shit. And then I feel like Japan probably just. I mean, I'm sure you were breaking the bank if you're Japanese to go watch Ohtani. But man, I got wind yesterday that there's somebody somewhere at some publication is probably writing a hit piece on me over this. And I was like, I swear to God, if there's a real hit piece that comes out of me arguing about whether or not my closer should play in a baseball tournament, and you motherfuckers go dig up old tweets and try to paint me as a racist, as you always try to do, and it never works. Like, I'll never. Then I really won't like baseball. I'll still always watch the Mets. I'll never forgive the baseball community for that. Like, did you see that tweet of the one guy this morning who said, if it was 1947, would KFC go watch some ball, or would he be the guy shouting at the black guy? I know where I'd put my money. I was like, What?
What does that mean?
We're now fabricating a hypothetical situation where I'm watching baseball in 1947 and you think I'm the guy who was yelling at the black players? What the fuck are you guys talking about?
Also, whoever has the bigger crowd, I'll probably go to that one. so, yeah, I'm a sheep man.
You like him? Okay, yeah, let's go. This is great. Don't say that. The baseball community's going to come for you on that one.
I could have been a Nazi so easy. I was born just right place, right time.
You would have been so Nazi. Like, he fits right in.
What are we doing?
All right.
All right.
I'll be in the back. I don't want to lead.
I mean, you guys start it, but I won't jump off the bridge first, but I'll jump eventually.
There's some streamer recently, an Asian chick who just fucking straight up had a swastika on her shirt and like didn't know it. She was like, "I'm sorry, I didn't know."
Well, that was a big. I remember back in the day in Japan, we blogged it. Where like hot in Japanese culture was they were selling like Hitler dolls. And it was a long time ago. You can pull it up now. They were like, just selling it at like bodegas and corner stores, like swastika stuff and things like that. I mean, now if we want to get really specific, it was the Hindu sign of peace.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's
one of my favorite pictures.
The hippies
the
love it.
old hockey team, Canadian hockey team.
It's called Nazi Cheek.
Nazi chic.
Nazi chic.
Nazi Chic.
That's fucking.
Yeah. When was it? Like
was-
early 2010s.
2016.
2016. Yeah, I remember blogging it. It was like
That's pretty late in the game for that shit.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
Particularly it was in Japan too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, particularly with the Japanese. Like you guys know them pretty intimately.
I mean, I guess they were boys.
Yeah. You
So
guys,
maybe
you guys are
they're-
pretty
maybe
goddamn
they're
tight. About
low-key,
60
like-
years ago, maybe distance yourself a little bit.
Let me find. I'm trying to find this girl.
But the other thing I was gonna say was the look up. I don't know if it was Montreal. It was a Canadian hockey team swastikas. Their name, and it was pre-1940s, I believe. So they were first on it. But it like they're in. It's just like their team name is the swastikas.
Yeah. Windsor.
The Windsor swastikas. Yeah. What years were that? Was that?
That was from 1905 to 1916.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's like pre everything.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Like, imagine that.
Yeah, whoa,
you were the swastikas
Talk
legend.
about the worst luck in the world.
1942. Whoosh, rolls around. You're like, fuck.
You have some like fan club that once a year everyone gets together to celebrate the swastikas. All your gear, you're coming up with merch, and all of a sudden you're like he's using what for his the Nazis are the whole movement. What?
You gotta be fucking kidding me, dude.
Yeah, as a little kid, I loved watching the Concord
I'm gonna
swastika.
pay tribute. Like, no, come on, man.
We're good. That's actually that's like we kind of laughed about it with Kim Jong-un and like how much he loved basketball, but like very similar. If Hitler was just like, what I love? A real good hockey game. My favorite team, swastikas.
I went to Windsor, Canada once. I'd love to pay tribute to them. That would be dope if you're really starting a new genocide. Like, make your logo the American flag.
You can't stop me.
Come on,
You can't stop me. You can't.
I dare the next genocide. Fucking use the American flag. That'd be funny. Or maybe we're already doing it.
I was gonna say America would be like, sorry, bud. It's already our idea. All right, now breaking into the show, we got breaking news.
A skinhead.
Man, you set that one up.
I didn't even know.
You are a liar.
I swear to God, I didn't think about that until you started
For a
talking.
little behind the curtain, John said, "Okay, just set up the interview with Gaz." And then, hey, skinhead.
I swear to God, I'm gonna look down the barrel of the camera. I swear to God,
In that 1 second
that was
it came
not
to your
my
head?
plan when I said that.
You are a liar.
I swear, give me a Bible. Get me Mein Kampf.
Oh my god.
It is Paul, sales guy, Gaz Golzinski.
He's not gonna like that.
No. Your lead-in was a skinhead Mein Kampf joke.
The Mein Kampf was for me.
Let's talk to him.
To bet myself a little bit more. I was thinking like we ended it so hot that it's kind of weird to just put it together to be like, okay, now we have Gaz. So I was like, well, we gotta blend it.
Nazi thing going.
So I was like, how am I gonna blend it? And I went, skinhead.
It's a segue. It's a perfect skinhead segue.
Yeah, I was just gonna put an ad, but yeah, no.
We could also do that.
Now we'll add a little buffer.
Gazzo!
Recording in progress. I didn't know what you wanted to talk. I figured you wanted me on air.
Yeah. Well, we got to talk about a couple things. All right, we got the wizard behind the curtain, the man himself, Barstool's cockroach. Before we get into all the drama, show off the shiner, Paulie. Show the people.
Dude,
Look at this
that
guy.
It reminds me of when me and Feidelberg fought all those Miami University kids.
That picture, the picture of you two, you look, actually, I got to say this, because, by the way, happy belated, the big 4-0. I know you tried to skate by on that, but Gaz is now 40 years old. You do look like exactly the same. You pulled the right move by shaving it early and just looking like you've looked for you'll probably look like this for 20 more years.
Yeah, you look great.
Yeah. Except for the fucking
yeah. I went back home for St. Patrick's Day. I know Feidelberg was up there, and then this is the result of it. It's like
and the story you're peddling is you walked into a hatchback.
Yeah, like my abusive husband story is basically I've come up with this. My scapegoat is being the hatchback of a SUV that I walked into when I wasn't paying attention.
But so you walked like into the side of it or head on? Like what?
So like wrapping around it, the hatch was up and I was looking down at my phone. It actually didn't hit my eye; it hit above my eye, and then just blood came. I guess that's how that works.
That is crazy. You bump your head.
Like an egg.
It sinks. Blood sinks to your eyeballs. Yeah. Fucking gruesome.
I went down to the ground. My knees buckled. Went right to the ground.
I was saying that yesterday. Like you didn't even go down at that Miami fight. We fought fucking 100 people. You were fucking up still.
Yeah, no. It was like getting blindsided. Didn't even know it was coming. So it just
that's your only sign of age. That post 40, you take a shot now. You go down.
I wonder too though if you hit like something like the perfect spot in your brain if your body just.
Listen, they picked me up and I went right back down.
No way.
My leg, I thought I had like a concussion. I was knocked out.
I was going to say, the spotter's got to get you there.
I think that really does mean you like hit a nerve or something. If your legs just stop working for a second, that I would have given anything for video of that. Just Gaz crumpling right where he stands and then just like a fucking puppet on the strings.
I'm sure like drinking a lot didn't help the situation.
Yeah, that's usually
I mean, like I said, it's 40th birthday, St. Patrick's Day, March Madness, all in one day.
That's the perfect storm.
Was this weekend your birthday?
Yeah, Friday was, or Thursday, Friday.
Are you slowing down at all, or do you still drink and party like as hard as you do?
I'll give you, this weekend was a little bit, it was like 40th. I'm a millionaire now, back home in Boston. And it was like, I'm going to air it out like that. In Miami, there's a lot of talk about like, Miami going out. Like, I'll give you a Friday, Saturday. Like, I'm just a weekend warrior. Like, during the week, I go to bed at 7 o'clock at night, 8 o'clock at night.
You were great. Yeah. I mean, I can attest to that. Gaz goes to his room for fucking 5 days straight. And
I'll
lets
text
it fly.
him at 7:30. I don't hear back till the morning. It's crazy.
Yeah. Depending on what's going on. Yeah. I usually go to bed pretty early and get up at like 6, 7 in the morning.
Yeah. All right, let's get into the work drama. Because you are, this is your dream. This is your masterpiece that you have, you've stumbled upon it, but also orchestrated it in a little bit in certain ways. So just give me your overview. Like, give me your 1 or 2 sentences on what you feel first off on what's going on here.
Starting with which, I mean, I feel like I'm embroiled in a lot of it. So
yeah. Well, that's what I mean. Like, so where are you at?
Beginning of it? If we're starting at the beginning of it and people freaking out about the Mean Girls clips, people can have whatever their opinions on. I guess I look at it more like factual. Like a lot of people have said that day I didn't jump out and say things, but I wanted to see what everyone's kind of opinions were on it before I thought about it. And then I'm like, I'm glad you actually reached out to talk about it. Because I think the whole narrative from the social team being like, we just pick favorites or like Mean Girls gets posted all the time. I actually sent an email out like 3 weeks ago and I asked Dad, I'm like, how often do we promote everybody from the main accounts? Like, I don't know why I just thought of it. I was like, what are the numbers behind who gets the most main account on what platform? Who is it? And I sent it over to the social team, and I was just like, just FYI, like when we're promoting content, there's two things that I care about. And I just want to reiterate because we have a lot of new people in there. We have people on TikTok that control it, and they do a great job. But I was like, it's easy when it was me and Chuck to be like, it's unbiased. But now we have a lot more people in there, and there's relationships in the office.
Totally.
So
Yeah,
I wanted to get a grip on it. So they sent that over, and I sent out the email. I said, the one thing I care about, number one, is like, when you see a video, what's getting us the most views? Like, what's going to get us the most eyeballs? That's how you should be judging it. Like, not about who the person is. The second part of it is there's going to be priorities at the company that are going to come and go. We get a new podcast at Beverly, big investment. We want to come on. We need to grow that. We need to get that started. That's going to get a lot more loves for a while until it gets up and going. So then there's going to be other priorities across the business, whether it's a high noon tequila, like let's push that. That's new. So they're always coming and going. And then we're always looking at the numbers. Like, I think we talked like, during COVID, like about 1 Minute Man. And it's like, we got to bring that back. It was like something that always performed every time we did it. So always looking at it from that sense. And I actually said one thing I don't want is I don't want a public bias. So when I looked at the numbers, because I looked at them when Keegs went on her rant about it, and I'm like, I want to see where Mean Girl actually ranks. And I was actually just pulling it up because I figured we were going to talk about this.
Give them the numbers, Paulie. Hit people with the straight facts.
Yeah, so that's what I did. I'm like a numbers guy. I just look at it from that perspective. So the number one most promoted thing, and this is where like I'm giving you the behind the curtain Wizard of Oz.
Yeah. People are
And
going to love it.
sometimes you talk facts, it might affect other people at the company, but like I really do look at it from like there's empty boxes. We have 15 slots on Instagram. What are we filling that up with? What's going to benefit Barstool the best? And those are always going to chip. Pardon My Take gets the number one, gets gotten this year. This is year to date. Number one, Pardon My Take. Number two, Pizza Reviews. Number three, Jack Mac. Number four, Sunday Conversation. Number five, KFC Radio. Bussin' with the Boys. Dog Walk. Only Stands, which I'm sure we're just playing to the lowest common denominator of who wants slutty content there. So that brings us down to like, the dozen, Rough and Rowdy, which makes sense because when we have those, we do a lot. 1 Minute Man. The Yak, Foreplay, Pat Bev, Pro Football Show. Then you get to Mean Girl.
So I was going to say, even point.
Was that even top 10?
Let's say 15.
No, that's like closer to like 18, 17, somewhere in there.
Oh, wow.
So, I mean, that there,
It is.
I think,
I do understand and everyone's done this before at some point in their career. I think we probably did it 7 years ago at this point, and then you kind of just like, this is a game, right?
You always complain about.
Everyone always will hit a point where you're like, they're up there more than me, and then you're like, no, that's not true.
What it is it's memorable clips.
Yeah, exactly.
So you're remembering those. That's the point, though. Those clips are memorable.
Yeah.
So like, I think this was bubbling amongst the girls or whoever has a feeling about Mean Girls, but it was just the last 2 weeks. It was the dinosaur post and the washing your hands post. And then all of a sudden it got characterized as like they've been posting these dumb fucking things. They've been posting controversial things. They've been posting things I disagree with. You can't let your husband jerk off or whatever the fuck they're saying.
Yeah,
but like the stupid, like the idea of like this is not up to Barstool standards, which I think is funny in general. Barstool standards, what we're talking about here. That all happened just in like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
If there was like
the
20
Barstool
posts
standards
in
is
row,
a very bizarre thing. We are strictly here.
we're dick jokes and fart jokes and sex jokes. Like that's it.
And it's just to fill time between advertisements.
That's
that is what
We need to do 20 more minutes before we read another ad read. That's fucking it, man.
Yeah, and I think like that's the main. That's all of them. So like some people get more TikTok. Like BFFs is if you look at just TikTok, like BFFs is going to get a lot more promo because that's where their
Of
audience.
course.
TikTok
Like,
people,
Yeah. I
So we're
wouldn't
looking
even
at it
post
that
us
way.
ever on TikTok. Oh, never mind. Take it
But
back.
I do think what happens with Mean Girl, and everyone sees it because everyone freaks out. So everyone sees it. It's like one of those
Yes.
compiling things where
Totally.
you see what is getting the most engagement.
We
The
also
algorithm-
we went through like a sort of similar thing when a lot of people would be like, all you talk about is sex. All the questions are just sex. All the voicemails are just sex.
Yeah.
Like you remember those ones. Like I remember going through back in the day and I was like, we did 10 voicemails, 4 were sports, 4 were this and 2 were sex. Like it's not, but you remember those ones because it's salacious or whatever. And that is the point. The things that get remembered are the things that perform well. And that's what you do.
You could go back to the old Barstool, the website. Like I look at it as like Mean Girls, their clips act as like a funnel to get us into seeing other content. Like that's just like it's
Sure.
a hack. Same thing with Guess That Ass or the Smoke Show of the Day. Those were always getting clicked.
That I think people don't recognize either. First of all, a lot of people are talking like, do these clips actually help those girls? And it's like, yes, definitively, yes, they do. So first of all, like that aside, like their podcast probably does better and performs on a high enough level that it justifies some of these clips. Secondly, there's other benefits. Like you said, like if you post a Mean Girls clip and the main account ends up getting, several thousand new followers or something, there's value in that people aren't thinking about that. People aren't thinking about the long-term health of a main account, social media.
I didn't think of the hate, people like all that. Everyone's all negative hate. Like Kevin, when you did 1 Minute Man early on, like everyone was like, fuck.
That's why, dude, as I kind of let the dust settle as you did. And I'm like, this whole argument has been applied to me and KFC Radio, like all the time. The content is sophomoric. Like answer the internet questions are stupid. It's all about sex. Look at the feedback. So if you apply all that to me, then I'm not Barstool. I shouldn't get posted either. Like it's if you let that
Kevin has taken it. We've talked about a couple times. Kevin's taking this very personally.
It's exactly
Kevin's more upset about the Mean Girls.
Well,
I guess like the other point of like what I was thinking about is like a lot of people say in our audience, which God bless them, but they'll be like, it's only because they're on the main account that they get views. Like I sent Dave the screenshot because I wanted him to be aware of like the numbers behind it. And I don't want to bring up where they stand in our ecosystem because I don't want to be like, this is that. Like, but they're on their own accounts are getting we actually, a lot of times, I'd say 85% of the time, I think Chuck said, is we take what's going viral in our network and just put it more gasoline on it. So it's not necessarily like we do get the files and we look through them and like, oh, this is funny. We think this is good. But like Mean Girl does a really good job of clipping the way that they want to clip it and getting it on their accounts. And then they go viral. And people will say, well, they only get this on Twitter. It's like, they're not built for Twitter. They're built for TikTok and they're built for YouTube shorts or reels or whatever that is. So it's a different place and they perform well in those places. So
I think that I actually, you know what? I would trace the quote unquote hate back to, and I'll be honest, I would dislike it if I thought it was scripted. I think it's very real because I say dumb shit all the time. Everyone says dumb shit all the time. I think it's very real. If I thought they were all faking it, I wouldn't like it.
Yeah.
I think it's funny and good work and all that stuff. Good for them. But I think their misstep in The Office was cutting the Francis stuff. Because I think that we're talking gasoline on a fire. I think that added to the it's all made up shit.
Yeah, that was not a good move, and I still to this day have no idea why they did it. Because when I listened back, that was just an awkward interview. It wasn't like oh, he bodied them. It wasn't like
we're gonna have an awkward interview on this episode.
Yeah,
not with Gaz, with a different person. Our guest.
They happen. Trust me. Awkward interviews happen. You're about to hear one. But like that was a very strange move that I would, that did not help their perception. But I mean, I remember hearing, they went from like 0 views last year because they weren't around to like 500 million views. And I thought it was the main account too. And then we had, in that meeting, you were like, no, that was all just like their pages. So what the fuck? I mean, the proof is in the pudding.
I think that there's a point of like, there are people in the internet that get a lot of hate clicks and views and they can't translate it into something. Like they're a very healthy podcast at Barstool. And like there's a lot of very funny podcasts that I'm not going to call it name, but like they are their contemporaries in size. And you'd be like, that's a genius, like very funny podcast. The Mean Girls aren't for the audience. It's the same thing as Call Her Daddy in this sense. They're not, I don't want to say never, but they're not going to be Call Her Daddy. Like that's a once in a lifetime rocket ship and their when podcast going to be there. But they have an audience. They have an audience that buys their merchandise and they have an audience that listens to their thing. And it's not the core Barstool people. The same people that hated Call Her Daddy are going to hate Mean Girl. Just they're guys.
Totally. It's a very they're not equivalent in like size or whatever, but they are equivalent in like this is happening.
And that kind of happened with Call Her Daddy too, where like people got jealous in the office. And I've been jealous of this office a million times.
I'm jealous of anyone who's doing better than me.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And it is, and I think that's healthy. I always compare it to a football team at practice when like you're the cornerback and the wide receiver smokes you and you're like, motherfucker, fuck him. But you're like, but thank God we got him. It's got like it's a healthy competition. Well, I think in this case I think in this case, as the office as a whole, I think it certainly went over the line in a healthy competition
way.
sense.
So that's where I also want to talk to you guys because I want. It's funny that like as I'm hopefully about to start this whole idea of the new office, like the exact opposite of what I want it to be like occurred in probably the most blunt and like egregious way. I was like, Dave brought up when he smoked Smitty once, when he undressed Smitty with all the facts, when Smitty said he works hard and Dave was just like, no, you don't, no, you don't, no, you don't. But that was like a boss versus an employee. As far as like coworkers, similar level, I don't think there's ever been one more like contentious than this. And I was like, I know this is good for business, but it also creates the tension in the office that like crippled people for a decade. So I want to try to not have this shit happen. I do think there is a better way. Unfortunately, we should be able to just not hold everybody's hands and say, here's what the fuck is going on. Here's what's working. If you want to succeed, be more like this. But also acknowledging that like human nature just is what it is. You have an office full of young people, old people, boys, girls, successful people, failures, veterans, rookies, all that shit. I can see where if
that failures hit hard, man. That was fucked.
bro,
I don't know. I feel like we've failed upwards. This week.
But I can see where emails being like, be like the Mean Girls, be like the Mean Girls. Here's what the Mean Girls did. The Mean Girls were going viral, and if you want to go viral, you have to be like the Mean Girls. And it's like I also wholeheartedly understand that, like it or not, there's a difference when it's guy employees and girl employees. So that's another little wrinkle here that I told John today. I was like, as I'm trying to manage all this shit, I understand why Dave was like, just fight. I don't fucking care because I don't even know if it's controllable or not. But is there a way for the social team and the company-wide emails and all that shit to be like, you know, here's what you should do without being like sucking their dicks and not, you know, spreading around the love. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't know.
I feel like that puts a target on their back. Like even like I'm not even thinking like upsetting other people. It's just like it makes you want to hate them.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like you know what it becomes? It's like teacher's pet. It's like, this is the best student in the class. They got 100. If you want to be like them, you should study. It's like, well, fuck
which is
that.
crazy. That's how it works. But it is just like it's human nature.
I know, and you guys have a different perspective because I'm not. They're not my competitor. Like they're not like people that you know what I mean. So like I look at everything from like I do. I really do look at it with. I like everyone at Barstool. I actually genuinely could say that without a single doubt.
Everyone, Big Ass.
Everyone.
Come on.
That I would not. You don't think I would like?
No, I actually, as a person, I basically do like everyone. I think it's weird to assume everyone likes everyone's content. Like you don't have to bash it, but like,
totally. There's definitely content that I'm like, I don't. But I look at the numbers and I'm like, I go there. That's where I have to go. But to answer your question, like, it's like, so when I want to put those emails, it's more like factual and it's like, take it or leave it. Like, I know. I'm not God, but I get like, there could be jealousy that comes up, but I don't get it because I don't get it. You know what I mean?
So
like,
then maybe I'm just putting this out there for you guys that like, it does, you do become like, you know, well, like, oh, they did great. They're so great, you know? And you're on your side, you're like, these are just numbers and I'm just trying to help. But there is a level of like, now there's, you know, beef because if those girls weren't as successful, it would probably not have happened. But also if it wasn't like, it feels like it's Mean Girls all the time, you know? And it's like, it's not really.
I don't know if
it does come across that way.
Yeah. I don't know if you listened to our show when we had Keegs on, but we actually talked about it so much that it went the other way where it seemed like we talked about the Mean Girls all the time, which is like once or twice a year. It's like, hey, the Mean Girls are crushing on Instagram or Reels or whatever. But for some reason, though, that does seem to stick with everybody. Yeah. Where it's like, I don't get why that would upset you.
I mean, I know we've done it, but a lot of their content lines up with ours where it's like, you know, you can't watch porn. And it's like, well, we're going to discuss that. And so they come on our show. And so maybe things like that help perpetuate it. But, you know, it's like sometimes I want to be like, grow up.
Come into like, I like when people fight here. But I also don't want people to like viscerally hate each other.
That's the line.
Down.
Yes. Yeah.
Like, so there's there's always a graying of the line, I feel like, and then some people take it like, I don't know it. I actually, when I was talking to people, like, does Keegs fucking really fucking hate them? Like, because that seems crazy. But also, I love when Keegs goes ballistic.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
Went over to Keegs. Chuck went over to Keegs. Like, you got to make me a video of that. Like, that blog was great. Like, and we put it up there and it got millions of views.
Right.
So, like, we're all about that. But like, if people can't coexist, that's where it becomes like a place like, do you want to work where a place like
That's what I'm trying to like toe the line of like, I like that too, but it creates, they have beef, and then which side are you on? And then you have beef with people, and it's like, it was great for the first, 15 years. I don't know if we want to do this for fucking ever, because it does weigh on you, and it does become a place that's like, you're walking on eggshells, or, all that. So it's like a fine line between, I think the Mean Girls response being like, nobody ever said anything to me privately. I feel like there almost needs to be a rule, like you talk to the person, and then if it doesn't resolve itself or it continues, then you can go. But we cry about hit pieces all the time. You can't then go do them internally, you know?
So, well, yeah, no, I thought it was good. I think when I look at that overarching, like there's a halo effect, a lot of people talking about it, a lot of people going on other shows. Like there is that. You wish you could duplicate the other ways. I'm sorry. I do feel I haven't been in the mix, right? Like I've been down in Florida.
Yeah, you and Dave, you're not in the mix anymore. You're just you've gone
like,
soft. You're Miami soft.
The whole like little finger stirring the pot thing, which I do get off on, but but like I hadn't done it, and I did railroad my dog yesterday, the Nate dog. Like I do. So
that's the other side of it. This to me is almost more of a important of a discussion than the Mean Girls thing. So you just threw him right under the bus, huh?
Yeah, so Francis, so that whole thing, and then people on your show, I don't know if they talked about it, like Francis wrote a blog defending the Mean Girls, and then it didn't go, they got in an argument on text message about the blog. Like, and Francis had called me and it was on a phone with me and was like, hey, like, I feel like I'm being like, I don't understand why this isn't going up. Why am I arguing with the editor about like the merits of this blog? Like, it's not going to get us canceled, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, that's fucked up. If that's actually happened, I'm like, let me know if it doesn't if it doesn't go up, like, let me know that, because I'll carry that flag to the top of the flagpole. I'll go down the street to Dave and be like, Nate Dogg won't post this blog and I don't understand why. It did go up. The next morning, I find out that they're still arguing about it. And I was on the phone with David. I'm like, oh, did you hear the drama? And he's like, oh, yeah, what he said in his blog? Like, yes, KFC, Francis had a blog. Keegs had a blog. I thought it was great. I'm like, oh, did you hear? Like, it almost didn't go up. And then I'm like, what? And so that got Dave going. And he's like, oh, what? So then I'm on a call with Francis and Nate, and they're screaming at each other, and I'm screaming at them. And then, they
got gas. So that's an old school gas show right there.
Yeah. And then Dave was like, he was laughing. He wasn't mad. He thought it was funny. He's like, it's fucking classic Nate Dogg.
Yeah, but I also, we saw what happened with K Marco, and that whole thing sucked, and it ruined a good thing that was around for a long time. And
those texts were wild. I mean, I told this to Nate himself. I was like, those were insane. Like,
they're wild.
And it's just like, you can just see and read all the bias that people have. It's like, if you're going to do it, just fucking say it with your chest and be like, I don't like these girls, so I don't want that blog up, because otherwise, these people who are auditing their YouTube numbers and watching and it's like, what?
That was Nate's point, was it was always going to go up, and it was just how we got there. And I'm like, Nate is like in a position of control of like what Francis's output is. Like, he might just not post his blog, so you can't have that in that position.
Yeah.
And when you're shit talking your other people here, like, that's not good if you're in that situation. Like, you don't want it to be doing that either. Like,
I can see, I know, I like to think, I don't know. I like to think that if I was in that position, which I never want to be in, I'd be like, even if I vehemently disagree with something, I'd be like, it's going to do numbers, put it up. But we were talking about human nature earlier. Like, I can't see human nature too. We were like, I don't want people to see this side of it, because that makes my argument look bad.
But that's like it's
gotta go.
Like,
it's gotta go.
That is like the number.
I would not want Nate's job. Like, I deal with it. My side of it.
I would say, I don't know if you know how to read or not, Gas, but you would be a good editor in chief, because you don't like anybody, you don't hate anybody. You would just look at the numbers. But like the reason why editor in chief is like a prestigious job is because like you can't play favorites. You're gonna get in fights. You're gonna hurt your friends' feelings and all that shit, because you gotta play it down the middle. That's
a sure job. Like, all it takes is one thing to go up, and
you're fucked. Yeah.
Something, like what happened with Keith, like that sucks. And to play God,
But like
over
you do
people-
it with the social, like you are the editor in chief
I
social.
do it like with you, like I'm like,
right.
Kev,
I'm
we
always
can't-
like, fucking Gads is such a pussy, and then I'm like, I know, I get it,
Yeah, and we've been good about that, but like it's a tough position to be in, and I would not want to do. I do it in social side of things, but yeah, it's not a great job. And yeah, I did feel like Nate definitely goes Nate dog mode, and I don't think he should have done what he was doing to Francis, but like, yeah, I don't know. I haven't ran something up to Dave to fuck with someone in a while, and I'm surprised even Dave cared. Like Dave sometimes isn't in the mix.
No,
Like,
that's an important one. That's changing like the rule book. That's changing the foundation of everything. If you're playing like we decide who can't blog and shit, then what are we even doing here? But okay, so do you think there is a way to go about this, or do you think it's just like everyone's got to fucking man up, grab their dick, grab their pussy, read the fucking stats, and like be better?
Yeah, I mean, I want to give people more information. I think there's not a lot of information. I think maybe, Kevin, you work with people and people mentor each other. And I think, but they mentor who are willing to mentor people. Maybe they want to mentor. I want to be able to send something out to the whole team, because I think there's people down the trough that maybe aren't in the office that don't have the conversations of people.
Yes.
Does Megan making money know what's working on TikTok versus and I think you can take a little bit away from people. You can also ignore it. Like I want to make it like, all right, opt in, like an opt into the email.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Maybe.
Like you can opt in if you want to just not be a part of this. Like then that's totally
but
fine.
every email's opt in, right?
Yeah,
I've opted out. I don't
not look at it
because I'm one of those people where I stray from those kind of things because I think it'll affect how I work, and I don't want to do that. I don't want to like change.
But
how
you
I
also
work.
have incredible self-control, and I think that people who worry, did this video get enough views or get enough clicks on the blog, rather than just worrying about good content, it might be like, we're gonna hold your hand. You're not. You can read this email that's an update about social media, about like the do's and don'ts, so you don't get like shadow banned. And then like the next email coming is going to be a list of all the stats. And if you can't handle that, like you don't have to be on the email list. I don't know. Oh, but part of me wants to be like, you should, because it's good for your job. But also, who am I to say what's good for you? But maybe not. Maybe your psyche will be fucked up from it, and it won't be good for your job. So.
I mean, these emails exist. They go to Dick Hamilton, gets it for production, and Colleen Mulhern gets it for social KFC radio, and they look through it. And I think I always looked at it. It's like, if I was running those, like if I'm Biz or Wit, I want to be like, why is Pardon My Take or KFC radio doing like this more than we're like,
make it
into a way like that. But if you don't know, you don't know. I mean, again, make it opt in, and like people can read it, not read it. I don't ultimately care. I just think if you want to grow it, it definitely can help you in some way.
Yeah, I guess we're in a different position too, where we're lucky enough to have great producers and social people who do look at that stuff. And
they just
if it was on me to do that stuff, I probably would look at it.
Would feel away, and
If you're just Danny Jackal by herself, like making video, like she needs to know this information. And if I have to set up a call every week to give her 15 minutes, like that's not sustainable across 100 fucking creators.
I maybe there's a way to do it. I don't know. I'm quickly realizing like. I mean, I feel like on the logical fact side of things, I couldn't possibly be more on the Mean Girl side. And meanwhile, they're mad at me saying that I didn't have their back. I know Keegs is probably ready to rip my face off. I'm like, there's no winning this battle. So maybe, I don't know, yell at each other. I
got a fence post slicing firmly up my ass right now.
Everyone makes a decision how they handle things. I was talking to the girls yesterday, and I was like, you're going to actually have this out. Like the Dave Portnoy show would be like having those.
I was on the rundown yesterday, and they were invited to be on the rundown for the after show, and they declined, which that surprised. I know they're newer to the game and stuff like that, but that was their first thing. The first thing, really, in the whole thing, where I was like, that's a misstep. I would have come on.
I said my piece, and I was like, I think you should respond, because A, it's an opportunity. I was like, it'll probably be your most viewed podcast or whatever you do. Like, and B, like you're in the Barstool zeitgeist enough that I think like you got to reply. But if their viewpoint is like, this is catty bullshit, that is like, I don't want to do that. Like, it
is funny the position
on their podcast.
The position we've gotten to, where like I remember back in the day, one time watching a video it was Kaepernick, but it was before Kaepernick was known for what he's known for now. It was when he was a quarterback. And it was like a breakdown of how ESPN creates news. And it's like, it was like Jaws said that Kaepernick has the skills to be the best quarterback of all time. And then it went on fucking, not part of my take, first take, and they debated that, and then it became a news story, so it was on on Sports Center, and it's like, look what they fucking do. It's like, and I was like, yeah, fuck ESPN, just making their own news, just set up their own broadcasting. Here we are on fucking Thursday.
But I will say, the people who think it's fake, it's just not.
Yeah.
Like, because you know what, if I just did a podcast tomorrow and I was just like, the moon's not real, it's, the earth is flat, it's like you can tell I'm just lying, and when it comes across genuine, it makes people either go, holy shit, that's fucking dumb, or someone's listening going, oh fuck, I didn't know that answer too.
I think 85% of their show is like, and their whole thing is, I think it's just a couple of girls sitting around in a sorority dorm, like me, Feidelberg, and you would sit in a frat house just saying stupid shit.
Yeah.
85% is normal. Then you say something stupid, and they're like, that's the part that get clipped out, and whatever.
And it factors in that they're two pretty girls, and because like
guys can be dumb, girls
we
can't.
we have said dumber shit. The exact same dumb shit as them, and no one really fucking cares. No one here cares. No one on the internet cares. If a guy who looks like me says he doesn't wash his hands, no one fucking gives a shit. They're like, yeah, he's an animal. What are you gonna do?
I think they're reading Answer the Internet questions.
and for Keegs, like every time she goes on Ballistic, I will post it. So if she's looking for reasons. Reasons like
that
go
should
at
be
whoever you want.
That should be her brand. Like, be a fucking pit bull. But
but she can't fake it. She won't fake like the authenticity. Like she goes at square or swift. Like she does it when it's natural and what it matters. She can't fake the rage.
Remember when we first moved to New York and PFT was the Barstool Ombudsman for a bit?
Yeah.
We should make Keegs. Keegs got a new position.
or like the weekly power rankings from Keegs. Yeah. Totally biased though. Like not based on fact or anything at all. Just I fucking like or I hate.
She like cooks up her witch's brew and then fucking fires it off. I'd read it every time, and I'd be like either hell yeah or I'd be like oof. Yeah. I'm scared to disagree. I'd never be against it though.
All right, Gazzo. Anything else? Says the head of social media.
No, I mean, it's head of social media. I'm not even really. I'm
actually real quick before you go. We had a discussion not too long ago where I was like, let's almost use the podcast as a jam session where we just start riffing to end up having 2 or 3 really good clips rather than like hope it happens. Let's try to like manufacture it a little bit. And then I very quickly, like within a couple weeks, I was like, I don't want to be like a slave to this algorithm because who knows if they change the rules or whatever. Let's just keep making good content and those clips will come. But good content. but I don't know. That's another thing I think we need to maybe work on is like, you got to play by the rules, but also like, we can't just be like, do what Instagram says all the time because that's what Mark Zuckerberg wants. Cause it's like, who knows if that's actually good content.
Well, I think that you guys have done a great job of creating that content. And maybe it's not always in the podcast form, right? But Answer the Internet is one of those things that is a social first video that's going to go crush your video views. 1 Minute Man, another one that's like just built for
social media. Yeah.
You went God. Sorry. Here you go. Yeah. You're back. But you guys have created different types of forms of content. Some of them are long form where people like that. I think there's some people that just do long form here and just do short form and they're missing out on the opposite. Right. So it's not a one size fit all. Like we talk about right now, everyone wants short form. Like you can do that and it's going to work, but it may not be like that 6 months from now. I may come back and be like, we got to go back the other way.
Right. It just keeps changing.
We've always joked about that with like how, like, I mean, it was probably 6 years ago at this point when we did like a presentation, be like, we should be on YouTube. And I don't know if you were in that meeting or not, and people watching were like, no.
It was a dumb decision not to jump on there at that point. I think people were worried about like barstoolsports.com.
Yeah, no, and when we say it, we always add the caveat that like we were paying other bills and like there's different things.
It just was short-sighted for sure. Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
All right. Good shit.
But yeah, we'll have to do this again sometime and talk about what I actually do here at Barstool Sports and maybe that kind of thing.
Next time you're in the office, we were gonna have you for the Monday episode.
Yeah.
Next time you're in the office, let's do a Monday
you
episode.
said you're back April 17th, right?
We'll be in the office on Monday, April 17th.
Okay, so that week you'll get your moment to shine.
We'll see.
All right,
I'll
later,
see.
brother.
Later, bros.
Yeah, we're gonna bring you into content, and then you'll understand all this shit.
No, I've always tried to make content, create content, but never be on camera, be behind the
It's
camera.
fucking Littlefinger. I know.
I've said this before on Twitter, but like you have left a legacy that Pat has really grabbed onto. Pat is the little finger in the office now.
Yeah,
it makes
big
sense.
time.
A fucking
He's
tall, lanky
guy. He loves to stir. Loves
It was
to
by
stir.
osmosis. He just used to sit next to me for like 3 years, so it's like he's stuff picking up.
All
right, guys.
Later.
Yeah.
There you have it with gas. You know, like for all the people who want to take sides, you can do whatever you want. But also, there's the numbers behind and the facts behind the whole situation as well.
It is a tough situation as just a person here when you're like, I don't know, I like everyone involved because people do expect you to take sides. It's like I see everyone's side and I like everyone.
Yeah, so
and
get out of it.
just don't get mad at me. What do I have to say that you don't get mad at me?
Well, this is your perfect time to shine. You should go over to Keegs and be like, these fucking bitches are dumb. Turn around and be like, you guys are great.
No, because everyone talks to everyone about everything, so I don't talk to anyone about anything anymore.
Bro, the more and more, I'm already discouraged from the vision I want to try to achieve. I'm like, this is a absolutely fruitless task. There's no way I can achieve this.
In order to achieve this, we have to implement one rule: no one's allowed to talk to each other.
Yeah, for real. That's like the only way to do it. I
That's
think
how we got here.
I think if you. I don't know how to do it with girls because girls always hate each other. But I think when people have more off camera and even sometimes on camera talk and interaction, you're much less likely to actually hate them or be jealous.
I think even on camera. I think
like you have a good podcast together, and it's like
this is one of those weird things where if humans sit down together, you go,
exactly,
we're just people,
right? And it's like, oh, you know what?
How
Like
about
they
that?
do deserve the numbers that they're doing, or like, oh, I get where she's coming from. That like, you know, the social team's always talking about us and. Like it puts a bullseye on her back. I don't know, whatever. It's like you would. I've done it a million times myself. There have been people I've been jealous of, people I've hated, inside and outside of Barstool, and then
you just create a voodoo doll at home, go home and stab it a few times,
and then I talk to them, and I'm like, oh, all right, you know, I'm still jealous, or I don't love it, but I'm like, all right, I'm not gonna like hold them personally responsible or whatever. It just is what it is.
It is like. I was home a few weeks ago, and I was getting so mad at my family just because like I was trying to watch TV and they have an open floor plan. I hate open floor plans. I'm gonna strangle every architect in the world.
Doors, keep walls.
Every room should have a door so you can fucking close the world out.
Yep.
And like people were like in the kitchen like doing dishes or putting dishes away, and I was sitting there like, you goddamn motherfuckers. And then I was like you can't get mad at people for just existing.
Yeah.
And it's just like it's who that person is, and it's fucking
Gonna get mad at you for buying this house.
Yeah.
Am I the asshole? Let's get into it real quick before Colleen has one. I've got a fun one. This I mean no malice by this, but am I the asshole if I'm a podcaster, comedian, and I do a New York City media tour and I cry on every single podcast appearance I go on? Bert Kreischer, what's going on? Is Bert going through menopause? He cried on Flagrant 2, DeStefano, and Matt and Shane's Secret Podcast. He came to New York for a week. I'm assuming did like probably maybe a couple others.
He did Garbage.
Did Garbage, maybe a couple of the other girls, like the New York girls. Let's say he did maybe 6. So let's go 50%. He was crying. He was weeping on Matt and Shane.
I can't. I've seen clips around. I can't watch. It's not, bro. I get very uncomfortable watching people cry. Be in the room or video.
Can you also think of the last person equipped to handle it as Shane Gillis?
Yeah.
He was like.
I mean, I might be number 2.
I remember when I went on radio after my life blew up, and I didn't expect to get emotional, but I did. And Dave was just like I finished my piece, and he was kind of like, I'm wildly uncomfortable. I didn't expect the crying, and now that it's happening, I don't want to be here. But what was crazy with Bert was
what episode are we on, by the way? With KFC Radio.
Number?
Yeah.
So the system that tracks it lost track a long time ago.
We had to guess.
That's
Like 1,500 maybe.
1,500?
Maybe. I don't, because you guys were doing quickies for a while. So like those get added into it. It's like,
what do you think we were at?
I wouldn't. I thought we did episode 100 recently.
oh my God, we hit,
Did we episode 1,000 recently then?
we do 150 episodes a year.
Oh, we did an episode 100 at Saloon. Remember that?
Yeah. Yeah.
I would have thought we were at more.
My point is, if Bert's going 3 for 6, I'm about 1 for 1,500.
Right.
Maybe 2 was in there
What
somewhere.
was so wild. I was just like half listening to Matt and Shane, so I didn't know like what led into it. But it was the end of the podcast, and Bert just decided to relay a dream that he had. And the dream was like him and Jenny Molin and Jason Biggs, and like their baby was there, and somebody committed suicide. And Bert was in heaven and like needed to let them know, like, oh no, you killed yourself. Like that's your family. They're without you or whatever it was. And he's like, so then Jenny, I had to tell Jenny. And he laughs like he cries, so he's like squeaking. And then he was like, okay, like, so that was my dream. And they were like, yeah, that's a good time to wrap up, I guess. It was just so fucking insane at the very, very end. And then he. I don't know why he cried on Flagrant 2. I didn't see that. But on DeStefano, they
Well, he
wrapped.
cried for different reasons. He was telling the same story.
I don't.
Yeah,
Yeah,
all three of them were different.
I know that Schultz shocked
do you
supplied
want,
him
a
with a with a clown, and I know he's like has a deep fear of clowns. So that might have made him like he didn't cry at the clown, but he was like definitely shook.
Yeah.
I don't know what ended up making him cry on that. Then on DeStefano, they were wrapping up, and they were like, "Good podcast, baby, love you." Like, hey, we didn't cry like last time because remember last time those two were sobbing.
Yeah.
And they were like, "Yep, like no tears this time." Chris is like, I'll see you guys at like the Hulu Theater, and Bert's like, "Hulu, you did the Hulu Theater?" And he was like, "Yeah, man, I did Radio City, sold it out in 9 days. I pulled a Bert Kreischer, I sold it like just like you did." And he was like, I'm gonna start crying again. It was like, I'm so proud. I'm so
That was a good
proud.
cry. That's a good cry.
Yeah.
That-
it was like a genuine, like I'm happy for my. But
That reminds me, in 30 Rock,
but also
there's
that
a-
would be like normally that would be like, dude, I'm happy for you. You know?
Yeah.
He's clearly on some emotional roller coaster. Swear to God, Bert's going through menopause.
I just remember Flagrant was similar where he was talking about his life and how he's like, I shouldn't have any of this.
Yeah.
And I've gotten
He's
to
a
live
very
the coolest life.
grateful
he's
and
very
like genuine
appreciative
dude.
of everything.
I'm
It was
joking,
very
and I
cool.
actually think it's very cool that he can be like
Yeah.
the funniest dude, and then also like open up and laugh and cry, and it's like so all good. But when it's like, you got to hear Gillis. It was so funny. Matt goes, I was gonna try to throw a joke in there, and then I realized it would be the most inappropriate thing ever. So I just kept letting you go. What's happening here?
The DeStefano cry reminds me of episode 30 Rock when Don Geiss, who's the CEO of GE, tells Jack Donaghy that he's going to get he's retiring. You're going to become the new CEO of GE. And Jack starts crying. And Don Geiss, I don't know the actor's name. He's the guy who plays in Dodgeball, the guy in the wheelchair.
Rip Torn.
No, is it Rip Torn? Yeah. When he's like, Dr. Rich, I have to drink my own piss. That guy, whatever his name is, and he's got that gravelly voice, and he goes, "You get one cry in life. You chose right." And the Stefano one reminded me of that. That's a good cry. You chose right there.
When can you really cry? When do you think it's acceptable to cry?
Oh, I'm my crying is I could cry right now.
Totally.
Like-
But when would you cry and be like, yeah, I fucking cried, versus like, oh yeah, that was a little crazy.
I don't know. Remember when I cried during the? You weren't here for it.
When did you cry? On air?
Yeah, but I was trying to cry, and I cried really fast. It was during the Blade bet. Remember, I did like a.
Oh, yeah, you got there quick.
I got there so because you were in
I
the
was
room
there?
because we were playing. It was the Blade bet, so I
Right.
was doing an ad to not like you
Got
couldn't
it.
hear it kind
And
of
you
deal.
started crying?
And it was like I got there fat. The whole room was like, "What the fuck was that?"
Kev, you did it once during the goddamn Jets when you were doing like therapy for the
I
Jets.
do remember that.
That was 2 days before your car broke.
I was at my breaking
So
point.
it was, it was there. And like,
I do remember like, okay, I can cry.
Yeah. I remember
I
Nick-
just sat there and started thinking.
I remember when everyone was like, "What the fuck?" I don't know if I said that out loud, but in my head, it was like when Mark Ruffalo in the Avengers is like, He's like, that's my secret. Everyone wants to know how I turn into the Hulk. My secret is I'm always mad. Like, I know how I
Always
cry.
sad.
See, my secret is I'm always sad.
It does sometimes feel like you're plugging up a dam with your finger, you know? I could easily just let this shit overflow right fucking now.
Mental health matters.
Okay. Who's got it by the asshole? Colleen, what do you got for us? Gametime, the exclusive ticketing partner of Barstool Sports. Gametime is the ticketing app that makes it easier than ever to score last-minute deals on tickets to sports, concerts, and shows, and they guarantee the lowest price. You probably could have got a ticket for, I don't know, a couple bucks to go see the WBC.
Game Time was actually paying you.
I can't even imagine what Bruins tickets are right. What are you like? What are you like? 53, 10, and 5 or something like that?
No, close 54, 5 and 11. No, 54, 11 and 5.
Oh, I was gonna say if you have 5 losses.
No, Linus Ullmark has 5 losses.
That is crazy.
Linus Ullmark, I believe, is 35, 5 and 1.
God damn. So whether it's your favorite sports team, a fake baseball tournament, whether it's your favorite comedian, a concert, whatever it may be, Gametime is the best way to get your tickets guaranteed at the lowest price because they cracked the code on how to get those deals with the last minutes. They just have up to the millisecond timing. So, you know, you got your tickets, somebody on the market has them. It's almost tip off or first pitch. They're not going to be able to go. They want to get some sort of money for it, so they drop the price drastically. You see that drop happen in real time, and you're able to buy tickets for like mere pennies. Or you can spend a nice amount on it and get the best seats available. Whichever way you want to go, expensive or inexpensive, Gametime's got you covered. It's so quick and easy. Once you buy your tickets, they get delivered right to your phone. You don't need a printer because no one has a printer anymore. So weird. Everybody used to have a printer, and then nobody had a printer.
Yeah,
It's
you
like
gotta-
technology went backwards.
You want to go to the game? Let's hit Kinko's first.
Yeah,
Doesn't make any
so
sense.
annoying. So the app allows you to share tickets with friends via text so you can get into the game seamlessly. Download the Gametime app or go to the website, enter your email, and click and redeem code KFC for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply.
Okay, so I got into a conversation this weekend with somebody at a bar, just a friend who had a few drinks in her, so she was letting loose. But I just met her. We started talking about.
You threw that friend tag around pretty quick, huh?
Yeah, friends. You know.
Acquaintance or friend?
Acquaintance. Just met her. So we were talking about college, and she asked me if I was in a sorority, so I started talking to her about it. And she was telling me about how there was this one girl at her college who just, like, absolutely despised her, pretty much, like, hooked up with every guy she hooked up with and just went after her, and it was a small school. So essentially I'll pose the question as, am I the asshole for spreading a rumor that somebody has chlamydia because they're hooking up with all the guys I've hooked up with? So she went around and told those guys that this girl had chlamydia.
Before or after?
After. And so the girl didn't stop. So she's telling all these guys that she has chlamydia, but then she went ahead and texted the girl, hey, just so you know, there's a rumor going around that you have chlamydia.
And but this is the girl spreading it.
Yeah, but it was the girl spreading it. So she warned her over text, and the girl was like, thank you for letting me know, whatever. So these girls are in the same sorority. The girl who's spreading the rumor and also texted her gets pulled into standards, which is like they get you in trouble in a sorority, essentially. And they're like, hey, we heard you're spreading a rumor that blah, blah, blah has chlamydia. Like, what's going on? She goes, no, I'm the one who told her that the rumor is being spread. Like, look, I have these texts. So she, like, one, spread the rumor, covered her ass, and, like,
Did it work? Did she get off? I mean, you know about it now, but, like, did people, like, not think it was her?
I think, yeah.
Yeah,
she
she got
said
away with it?
Yeah, she got away with it. So
What college
And this
is
girl
that?
is telling you the story,
yeah,
like, proud?
And so proud. And I was like, do you mind if I use this story? And she was like, go for it. And I was like,
Bro.
are you? Yeah.
I mean,
So-
now, diabolical and brilliant, but absolutely psychotic. Girls, I'm stereotyping because guys, I'm sure will do it too, but girls are thinking like so many steps ahead where like you can't, like, this is why I think guys just get like dominated by girls in relationships when it comes to stuff, because I'm not even thinking like, oh, maybe she faked that text message, maybe she set this up with a fake blah blah blah. Like, I'm always just like, I don't know, did somebody say it or not? Like, I'm just like surface level, and girls are like 3, 4, 5 steps ahead. that is, I mean, that's a great move if you're ever going to lie about someone, is to then be the, it's almost like whoever smelt it dealt it, whoever denied it supplied it, sort of thing.
You saying that because I just farted?
But you did fart earlier, right?
I've been farting,
Okay.
man.
'Cause one time I was like, this smells so bad. Colleen, go ahead. Yeah. This one, I'm not smelling this one. The one about like when we were restarting, I was like, God damn it. God damn it. Does it smell bad here? That is funny timing. I didn't smell it. But
I was like, he's talking about me right now.
whoever smelled it, dealt it, whoever denied, supplied it, whoever admitted it and raised their hand and said it on the podcast did it.
Bro, I farted on the street today. We're going to get to that in a second, the guy am I the asshole. But I farted on the street today, and I had headphones in. I was walking.
I love farting loud in public.
Dude, like, if you were the girl in the black leather dress on 14th Street today.
Sorry. Was she behind you? You farted
She was
on her?
behind me, and bro, she hit the afterburners.
No.
Just went zooming by me.
You think she heard it or smelt it?
Huh?
Like, you really think she, like, felt it?
I smelled it, and
Yeah.
she went right by me. Now, I had, like, just gotten out of my apartment, so, like, I was
Was
like...
she slowly walking behind you?
I was gonna say, like, she had just, like, I had just gotten, like, I had just entered the stream.
So she might
So, like,
have-
I don't know if she was walking at that
fast
pace
anyway,
already.
but she did.
like, I farted, like, again, headphones in, I was like... I have no idea.
I'm telling you, there's
how loud it
something,
was.
something freeing about that where it also is your headphones. Like, I know the hustle and bustle of the city will probably cover you up, but if you have headphones in and, like, you can't hear it, it's almost like, if I can't see you, I'm invisible,
Yeah.
sort of thing.
That's why farting in airports is the best. I fart in airports all the time.
It's
Everyone's got
almost-
headphones in.
The acoustics aren't it's not going to reverberate. I got my headphones in. There's
No one's
enough-
walking around an airport with ears. I'm just fucking farting.
And if it smells like it, you'd be like, I don't know, it's airport smells.
Yeah.
You'd be like, it's that guy over
Yeah.
there. But
Dude,
when
this girl-
when you truly like, you really come to realize how loud and funny farts are when you purposely let it rip.
Yeah.
Because 99% of the time you're either fully holding it in or you're just managing it. When you just are walking and going, just letting it out, they're fucking so loud.
Dude,
They are whacking
this
through my butt
podcast
cheeks.
truly is therapy because if I didn't talk about it right now, that would have been like
festering?
eaten to me for weeks.
Oh, fuck
Dude,
that girl.
It was
she probably farted in her black dress.
it was so bad. I don't know why I said black dress. I meant like a duster. She had like a black leather
Whatever.
coat
She
on.
farted
Yeah.
in it.
But she I was so self-conscious about it that I was getting to the street and we were both crossing and there was the traffic was going, so I didn't want to get back
Walk
up next
with
to
her.
her.
Yeah.
So I knelt down and tied my shoes.
Untied and retied? Like they're not even.
I just pretended.
Tell me that you went like this with your hands.
Oh yeah.
No way.
What if she turned around? She'd be like, "Why's this farter on his knees behind me?"
You just
That one just took you out.
fucking kneeled down and wiggled your fingers on top of your
Till
Birkenstocks.
the light turned white.
That is
I gave her a head start and I fucking crossed.
the only thing that compares that I do and always have done and probably always will do is if I'm walking the wrong way and I pretend to fake a phone call.
Yeah.
To this day, if I walk the wrong direction, I'll go, "Oh, what? Oh, it's actually south. Okay."
I don't do
fucking
that.
care.
I just acknowledge it where I go.
Yeah.
Like,
I'll
I
do
throw
something
my
like that
hands
too.
up, like,
I'll do something like
yeah,
that.
yeah.
Like,
In case you know how everyone's watching me,
Right.
like, so they know that I know I look dumb.
But that faking laces is a special one. That's real fucking funny. That is the ultimate, like, Truman Show narcissism type shit too. Though it's like you think that everybody like can hear your farts or is worried about you. No.
Yeah, she's probably just she's tall, pretty girl. I guess
She
in the
walks
back.
faster than your slow ass. You know?
She's probably a model because she was a taller girl who was dressed nicely, and she's probably just walking.
New York, that's a model.
Yeah,
basically.
right.
I'm happy. I got enough texts from people about the butt hair that I was like, I could rest assured that it wasn't just like a few of us weirdos. Like,
Yeah, I'm not saying you're weird. I was just being like, I'm jealous. I haven't.
I know.
It hasn't happened.
Our
it went as far-
TikTok's divided. TikTok, like the
Really?
comments are very funny. It's very much like absolutely, and then no, what the fuck are you talking about?
That I find hard to believe. It's like, what? How?
As I said, I've had the wrapped around the penis.
Right,
I've
so it's
had
just like
that.
it just
It's
moves
in a
into your
different
ass,
spot,
yeah. I saw the discussion go further with girls saying that they like it. They were like, oh, sometimes it's like, like you pull it, it's like, like, god damn.
I probably wouldn't notice it because my fingers in my ass my whole shower.
What?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Whatever. I'm this fucking crazy chick in the chlamydia.
Are you cleaning your ass? You get in there?
No, I'm kidding. It's not, no,
No,
my
'cause
fingers
I-
never in my ass. I was just joking. I couldn't pull a hair out.
listening to
Not never.
We haven't been a couple weeks, so this is good to bring up now. But I was listening to the Legion of Skanks, I think, on Bert's show, and they were talking about Bert told that story where he wiped his ass with his own hand. He just one time he didn't have toilet paper. He just wiped with his hands.
That's
And I was like, that is
animalistic.
fucking carnage. That is pure human carnage. But they all started talking about that, and I think Big J said he's like, I have the cleanest asshole in the world. He goes, like, you will never catch me with like a shitty asshole. He goes, every shower, I soap it up, I scrub it, and I put soap and I finger fuck my asshole. I was just like thinking about this guy like farting out bubbles. You know, 'cause there's gotta be some soap that like gets stuck in there. This chlamydia chick though, man. First of all,
This is, you know what it reminds me of? Well, you go first of all.
I know from my dabbling in the law a little bit, bird law of slander and libel and shit. There's 3 things that you can't lie about that like you will get fucked legally. One is you can't say that someone's like a murderer, that they killed somebody. I mean, there's other things you can lie about, but these are like the 3 big ones. 2 is you can't say that someone had sex with someone.
Okay.
Sexual activity. And 3 is STDs. You can't tell people they have STDs. You can't say that people have STDs. So this bitch is literally committing a libel, slander, whichever one is spoken. Slander.
It reminds me of the court case in Massachusetts. I wish I could cite it.
That would be super weird.
But it's famous. First of all, it happened in my not my hometown, but around where I'm from. But it is the Hulu special. There is a Hulu on it. TV show starring.
Oh, the Boston. Is it new? Or no?
No, not new. Oh, I gotta watch that. Maybe I'll watch
What's
that
it
tonight.
called? Boston Strangler?
Boston Strangler. Yeah, that's a true story. But no, this happened in Plainville, which is next to Fall River. And it's called The Girl from Plainville. Is the Hulu show. It stars. It's got a star. It's the woman who plays the girl is a star. Is an actress. She convinced her boyfriend to commit suicide.
Oh, yeah.
And but she also like set up things to be like she was the hero in the story as well. She's a psycho.
That's like the mom
She's
in
like-
Michigan who texted her daughter like 10,000 times.
Yeah,
a year,
yeah.
And the whole time was like, you know who it is? It's that girl Susan.
Right.
Like, pitting on other people.
To do
It
something
really-
like that.
It's so diabolical that it's like, I'm like, you know, sometimes I felt stupid for some of my missteps and getting played and being involved in dumb shit. And I'm like, I was a victim. I was a victim of multiple nefarious plots that I was not mentally or emotionally capable of even coming close to fighting back. Like I was in so over my head.
When you realize just like it is one of those things like when you realize something like this is happening to you and you're like you're angry obviously and there's a sense of betrayal to it, but then you're like, how much do you try every day? Like, don't you just wake up, go do what you have to do, go back to bed?
like every
How
day-
much
every
effort
day
are you
they
putting
wake
into
up-
every day?
They wake up being like, okay, we're into phase 4 of this plan, you know, like fucking Marvel calendars. Like, okay, I've already established, like, I've already harassed him on text, and now we're gonna like threaten his family, and today is the day where like I show up at his work or something, whatever it is. Like, what the fuck,
Bro, you have the next 6 months planned out. When I ask what you want for dinner, how are you not ready?
Seriously. The coordinated attacks are just.
It's haunting to hear stories of it, but they're like, it is an all too common thing. We're like, yo, this girl was plotting
Right.
and deceiving.
It's some catch me if you can shit. If you like, go work for the government and use your powers for good.
And you know the annoying part is like she's like tell everybody. She's like
Get
tell
my
all
government
the
name.
girls. But also, dude, if I was a frat guy, what's the girl chlamydia look
ain't
like?
stopping me, bro.
Fucking roll up with my Z packs and some Zima,
Done.
and I'm good to go.
Done. Not even an issue.
Dude, fucking.
Chlamydia? I probably have chlamydia right now.
Hey, I
the frat boys were probably like, yeah, I have it too.
I'd show up like a fucking soldier in war who's like got all like the fucking gauze and stuff on. Like, I'm planning to get shot. Like, I'm doing this for my country.
Also,
I'm doing this because I have a calling. Okay.
Does it make any impact or sense to say it after the fact? By the way, like that guy goes and gets tested or something, and it's like,
yeah, after the fact,
don't
I've
have
been
it.
told after the fact I have an STD.
didn't do
Didn't
anything
even
about
blink.
it. Didn't even consider it.
Didn't even fuck. I was like, all right, I'll go to the clinic, I guess.
Yeah.
Like chlamydia.
And even then, it's
Bro.
like I don't know. I'll wait and see.
I'd rather.
I easily guys can dodge bullets a lot. It's a lot easier for girls.
If you were like after sex, you're either gonna have chlamydia, or she's gonna bite your lip so hard it's like swollen and is gonna be a nuisance to eat. I'd be like, give
Take
me
the chlamydia,
Give me the chlamydia. I don't fucking want to deal with that shit. Like, I got a fat lip and it's like kind of sore and always playing with it. That shit lasts for days, man. That's half a week of a nuisance. Fucking Z-Pack. I'm going out to get lunch anyway. I might as well pop by the fucking CVS.
I actually don't think I've ever had an STD.
I don't think so either. I know. I really don't think
That
so.
did not sound convincing.
It didn't sound convincing because I was thinking as I was talking.
Didn't you have that one doctor that said you can't get chlamydia?
Sure, yeah, but that was I thought I had herpes.
But you didn't.
I did not have herpes.
Yeah, I don't think I ever had either. Definitely had moments where things like hurt afterwards or something like that, but I've never had like
I've had a
kisses
million.
burning.
I've had
never
what
anything
I
grow on my dick. I've never like the way Stefano talks about warts on his dick. Like I know comedy is exaggerating, but what's wrong with your dick, dude?
I've had what I've recently learned. Like, I've had a billion UTIs.
That
And,
yeah,
and
that
guess what,
made me
ladies?
stop complaining.
It's fucking. You take an Advil and you're fine.
Seriously,
It
just
is.
like just pee a little bit, it goes away.
Dude, like it's like if because I've gotten UTIs from jerking off, dude. Like,
That is just the social clip. That's for sure the cold open. Write that down.
if a UTI is what I think a UTI is, when like after you ejaculate, after you come, you kind of have that sensation where you have to pee. You feel like you have to pee, but you don't have to pee.
I don't think that's it. I think it hurts
All right.
significantly.
So it wasn't a doctor who told me, but it hurts and it feels like you have to pee. But you go and like I just stand over the toilet and I'm like I don't have to pee, but it fucking hurts a little bit.
Yeah.
But like I feel like a pee would make it feel better, and then I just kind of stand there. I'm like, well, I guess it's just gonna hurt for a little while, and I just go about my life. That's happened to me
All-
a billion times.
I don't know if that is or
It usually
that
happens
not.
when I'm either having drunk sex or masturbation.
Yeah. Well,
A
that's
billion times.
Huh?
A billion times.
It
You know what I'm talking
a
about
billion
now.
times.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's a UTI, 100%.
That's
Is that a
UTI?
UTI?
yeah.
Yeah, bro. I have UTIs all the time, dude. I rarely have sober sex, so I have a UTI almost.
Wait, but you can get a UTI. I guess actually jerking off, your hands are dirty. Maybe it's almost like even worse. You're putting more bacteria and stuff.
I don't know,
You just
man.
gotta get, like,
I just
in
know
your
it
dick
hurts,
hole.
and I feel like I gotta piss, and I don't have to piss, so I just go back to being in pain.
Yeah, and
then-
sometimes I push like right above the dick bone there.
Yeah.
It's almost like I'm trying to push something
Yeah.
out. I don't know
If
about.
that's a UTI, your boy's the king of UTIs.
Is it like days on end?
No. You should just have a drink or have some Advil.
Girls have it. They have to drink like gallons of fucking cranberry juice.
Yeah, have you guys tried beer?
Is that a real thing, by the way? Like, there's a distinct-
Microphone.
That seems like a before and old wives' tale. But is there a before and after? Like, it was hurting. I drank the orange juice or the cranberry juice, and now I'm good.
No, I don't. It's like myth. It's like it makes it feel
But-
better briefly. I've never.
But like
tried
they all do.
cranberry.
There's got to be like a shred of proof behind it because
I know.
like
I don't
something.
honestly know what it is. I can't think of it.
All I know is that whatever you feel does not compare to shampoo up your dick.
Oh yeah.
That is that because then when you pee that out, if you've ever just come and get soap up your dick and then you have to pee, so it's this unholy alliance, the fatal three-way of cum, soap, and pee. The feeling coming out of your dick is like it's like a medicine ball with spikes coming out.
Yeah.
What? What?
It's just like, you're like, I'm gonna say shit I don't want to say.
Yeah. I was waiting for it, and then you didn't. I was like, come on, go.
I remember.
Leave me out to dry here.
I remember being like, I was at the age of exploration. And
When you were still jerking off upside down.
no, I was a little past that. It's when I was looking at my own asshole. Remember when I at my grandfather's house up in the attic?
Sadly, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Yes. For those who don't know, you put a fucking mirror on the ground and
No, it was one of those sliding doors where I just
right, not on the ground, behind him, and you just bent over, spread your cheeks, and looked underneath his legs.
And it was
Sick
the
fuck.
same kind of mirror that like you pull it like this and you lift your legs up and it looks like you're lifting both legs up. It was really the greatest juxtaposition of because I was living in my grandfather's house for a little while. We were putting an addition on our house, and like I became. Again, I was in the age of exploration, so I like became a man like in that setting where I started the trip started it was a few months, maybe a couple weeks, whatever it was, and at the beginning of it, I was the kind of kid who would pull the mirror close like a sliding glass door for a closet, and I'd pull it to my chest, and I would lift my legs up, and it looked like I had both legs in the air, and I'd laugh at it like, ha, 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 and by the end, I was bending over looking at my own asshole. So I did a lot of growing up in those few months.
Wait, why are we even talking about this?
Because in this same time, let's say I was 11, 12, whatever I was, in this same time period, I remember being in the shower, and I'm a kind of kid looking at his own butt. Everything's fucking, I'm horned up all the time. I'm in the shower.
Not much has changed.
And I'm looking at the shampoo bottle. Again, I'm like 11, 12.
Yeah.
So my dick's grown a little bit since. But I'm looking at the shampoo bottle, and I'm like, oh, lotion in there. I wonder if I could fuck that. So
Everybody's tried to fuck shampoo.
So I popped the top off it, and I went to tip it in, and not to brag, my dick didn't even fit the shampoo bottle at all.
That was when I learned that I have like no depth perception or whatever. I was like, this is not even close.
I thought a dick was like a rat, like you could just squeeze in it.
like the Santa Claus when they don't have a chimney and he goes down the little pipe.
Yeah. Luckily, I was already hard because if I put it in soft and it fit, and I'm like, you're going downstairs to tell your grandpa you're with one hand.
Just walking through and the shampoo bottle just bouncing.
The fucking Head and Shoulders is
oh my god
stuck to my penis and balls.
If it was Head and Shoulders.
It was Head and Shoulders, yeah. I remember. But
Bro,
I remember
ever do that.
I went to stick it in, and I was like, it doesn't fit. Went back to soaping whatever I was doing, because it was a delayed response. And then all of a sudden it was like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
Because Head and Shoulders is like medicated.
Yeah.
That's really bad.
It was.
I don't even know what that pain is.
That was my first UTI.
I mean, listen, I'm telling you, your dick was clean as a whistle, baby. Have you ever thought about that? It's like I've definitely been like going to bed and I'm like, hang on, let me just pee real quick, so I can enjoy sex because I gotta pee. And it's like, there gotta be some, like when they start blowing you like right then and there.
Oh
like,
yeah.
There's some pee in there. Like, the dick does a really good job of like getting it all out and then shoom, like cutting it off.
Like a submarine.
Yeah. Like, there's no leaks here.
Yeah.
No leaks here.
They have that one room they go into and then they drain that room
Right.
out. And then it's like
the two door.
Then you get into the dry room. Yeah.
It's like a two-factor authentication.
You said it recently, the mudroom.
Yeah, the mudroom. Yeah, the mudroom is the best. The best fucking analogy ever. The mudroom.
But I don't even know what we're talking
anyway,
about.
UTIs back to
I got a bunch
sex.
of UTIs. This is what that comes down to. Anyway, Jackie's in a helmet.
What? How's life, Jack?
It would be better if I wasn't in a helmet, but like it's fine.
So
it's
you
fine.
have a date potentially on the books?
Yeah, I do.
So as this airs,
on
it'll be
Thursday,
Thursday, so it'll be tonight.
Yeah, tonight.
Tonight you're
is
supposed to go
when
on this date,
I'm doing
and if
it.
you do it, it will exonerate you or whatever you want to call it. Like your punishment will be over.
It is a shame that we're gonna miss a weekend.
No. It's fun. I think that going on this date is gonna be it's equivalent to a weekend because I'm going out.
Strange.
How about
Yeah, you'd
this?
be like,
Okay, how about
you'd
this,
be the
though?
hit of the bar.
Maybe
Yeah.
I'll up the ante.
But people would get drunk and start hitting.
They
you.
would start hitting me.
How about this? Let
Everyone
me.
keeps trying to tap me.
Okay,
It's
so
demeaning.
So she goes, it's so demeaning, so disrespectful. I did it to her yesterday. I just went,
Yeah.
she's like, that
They
is
just,
so
like, knock on it.
disrespectful. What if, okay, your punishment, I can't change the terms now, but having the weekend is a good idea. So what if there's a reward for if you wear it on the weekend. I'll give you some money or something.
Fuck.
I can do dumb shit like this now.
How much
How
money are we
much?
talking?
Oh, let's negotiate.
Show's gonna get out of control.
So I have to wear it at the bar?
Yeah.
I don't know, you guys.
Saturday night.
Dude, the fact that you're even like I mean, I guess maybe I don't know what numbers you're thinking around, but like if I was 23 years old, I'd be like, pay my bar tab.
Yeah.
Obviously, you have
I'll do that.
You
I'll
have
pay
you
your
have
bar tab.
leverage here right now.
Pay your bar tab.
I'm not even good at but I don't know. I don't know.
You want to think on it? Come back with an answer?
No. Let's decide right now. I want
She's smart. Can't let him get up from the table.
bar tab plus bar tab for both nights.
Sold. Done.
What? Wait, hold on. I
You botched that.
I knew she was. I knew.
That's a botch job right there.
That was a binding. That was the gavel. That was the gavel hitting the thing.
So that was Kramer with the lifetime
Yes.
coffee right there.
I knew something stupid was coming, and I was like, I gotta just say, accept it as soon as possible. I will pay your bar tab both nights.
What number were you at?
I was, I would have given her like $500.
Oh,
Wait. I want to renegotiate.
Nah.
Bar tab both nights plus $400.
Just trying to get the $500 now. Just ring up, just fucking have a night and ring up that bar bill.
Yeah, but I should have just gotten money.
What were
I
you
could've
at?
bought myself some-
Were you at higher or lower?
I was higher. I was like 1,000.
Yeah. I was thinking 1,000 maybe could be a group effort for Jackie to wear a fucking. Maybe we should just have dumb shit like this. If you ever need to make a few extra bucks, she's like, I'll do something dumb for the weekend. Make good content out of it. Be like you come in and you open up like a fucking closet and there's a helmet and like a dumb thing on your nose. It's like, if you wear any of this stuff out and you film it, I'll give you money.
My social status is just gonna
Slowly.
If you go out barefoot, I'll give you a few $100.
Oh, wait.
Like, whatever.
I keep having dreams
I
about
have-
going out barefoot. That's weird that you say that.
See? Because we're in the Matrix or whatever,
Yeah.
right?
I have bad news for me, good news for Jackie. Now that we're talking about money, I owe Jackie money. What is your Venmo?
You don't owe me money.
Yes, I do. I
Why do you
Jackie
owe me money?
I owe Jackie money because we told her we were going to give her money before, and I didn't. This is like months ago. This is on you. I forgot about this.
What?
Like fucking Survivor money.
Survivor?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't care. No, that's
No,
fine.
what's
It's
your
done.
Venmo?
No, it's done.
No, it's
fine.
not done.
No, she has to do the helmet.
Okay, do the helmet all weekend. I will pay you the money.
Wow. That you have to do that because that's worth it.
And I get the bar tab covered?
Yes. Yes. I will reimburse you for the bar tab.
You still do the date though.
But now this is fucked up because I was already going to get the money.
Yeah, you were.
Your window closed. I don't
We're
know.
just fucking walking all over me.
yeah.
No, I know, but you can't.
Said no, I won't give
I know, but I don't know how to negotiate. Okay.
I'm gonna forget again, so I'm gonna give it to you now, but you have to go for the weekend.
Fuck. Do I have? Okay, fine.
No, she won't do it.
I mean, I will.
I trust Jackie.
Like at this point, I don't know. I can't guarantee you it will be on for the whole night, but there will be moments when I have a helmet at the bar and people are looking, and my friends are going to be like, "Please take the helmet off."
Yeah.
Please.
You also have to come home with the helmet. Because you can't just take it off and leave it somewhere and then
No.
ditch it.
No.
So it's
This is
gotta,
not
always be
$50
like
helmet.
it. It's
I'm not fucking ditching this.
You know what you should do is join a biking club. Now
Are
you
you
have a hiking
Venmo?
club and you can do.
Yeah, but it's fine.
It's
I
not.
guess, if I wear the helmet at the bar, yeah.
Yeah.
Jay, well, I guess I'll say my Venmo on here.
That's a mistake. Because guess what? Well, you and I are different people. It's almost exclusively requests.
Yeah. You never know. Jackie will get some goddess shit.
Yeah. What is it? Wait, hold on. Yeah, at Jackie
Jackie
Nichols
Nipples
2.
2.
Jackie Dash Nickel. How do you spell your name?
NICHOLS
Oh yeah. Wait, I just saw that.
-2.
Oh, how about this? It's bullshit that Jackie Nichols is just 3 blonde girls in the picture. I would have definitely sent it to her.
Wait, that's not.
I know.
Yeah.
Jackie Dash Nichols Dash 2.
Yep.
Today's voicemails are sponsored by Pirate Water. Attention all partiers, all ragers, everybody looking to have a couple drinks on a budget, anybody looking to have a drink that sets the party off, where it's a whole other level where you save the money in your pocket, you get things flowing, and you have yourself a wild night. It's Pirate Water, baby. $2, 4 flavors, 10% alcohol by volume. Those are the numbers. Those are the figures.
More flavors coming soon.
Let's
also,
go.
and I don't know how soon. Soon's
Relatively.
an open-ended word.
Yeah.
But I was just at one of the biggest parties in America of the year, Southeast St. Patty's Day Parade. Pirate Water all over the float. All over the crowd, all over everywhere, all over myself. I was soaked. I was shocked they let me on the plane. I had so much pirate water on me. But it is the ultimate party in a can. It is.
Absolutely
It's even like something when you just look at it, you're like, all right, it's time to go. Like
yeah.
there's
This
some
is
like
not
they're like
we're gonna sip some beers and get a buzz.
there are
This is
bottles of wine. We're like, this is a
rock
nice,
and
relaxing
roll.
night. This is a fucking
I mean, that
rocket launcher.
That skull is staring
Yeah.
at you with no eyes. Like this is gonna be you in a few hours. So you can get your Pirate Water at your local liquor store. If you go to drinkpiratewater.com, they have all the locations, whether it's a liquor store or a gas station or a Walmart, on the shelves of your bodega, whatever it may be. Pirate Water is there. My
It's
personal
also delicious. As I've said, I have an adult friend with one kid, another one on the way, who recently texted me, it's all I drink now.
wow, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
That is great. My personal favorite, I believe, is the just the margarita flavor, straight up.
The margarita
It
is
does
best.
taste like a margarita.
Yeah.
The other ones are a little too like beach vacation-y for me, but if I'm ever on a beach vacation, these are the ones I'm going to be drinking. You know what you should do, too, is like if you have a slushy, put the pirate water, of that flavor, put the pirate water
You
in.
probably one of those machines.
Yeah.
I know like frat houses and stuff have those kind of things. Get the
Yeah.
pirate water, slush it up. Slush it up.
I like that. Get pegged and slush it up. So go to drinkpiratewater.com to find Pirate Water in a location near you, or order off GoPuff. Its voicemails brought to you by Pirate Water.
What's up, KFC? Fights, Jackie, and the rest of the crew. Little hypothetical for you. Let's say you get a call from the Make-A-Wish Foundation one day, and there's a little kid who wants to spend his wish having a day with KFC radio. What does that day look like for that kid?
This
Peace.
is great because I have it. We've already done it. You weren't there for it, but I've done it.
Yeah. But it was it was awkward, right?
It was incredibly awkward.
Yeah.
The kid didn't want to be there at all. The dad didn't even know what
That's
it
I mean.
was.
Like, what could we do to make it fun? Because you just were like sitting here like, oh.
We did a podcast together, but the wild thing was I could only come down on the weekend. So it was Barstool office
Right,
was
it
empty.
was empty.
This is old HQ too.
Yeah.
And the office was empty. And the dad came in and we've been walking the son around. And I don't know if we just gotten, I don't know if it's just regular office situations or if we just gotten some Asa Akira mailing. We had dildos stuck to the walls everywhere. like on people's desks, just like this is where fucking Dan sits.
I think I had one of
just
them.
like a big black dildo here, and like above the door frames, just big fucking dildos. It's like, I don't know. You want to go talk about the Pats free agency moves, dude? I don't know. It was.
I think if we were to come up with like the KFC radio experience, full immersive experience, I think you get to come in.
I think we go to jail if a kid's involved.
Yeah, that's definitely true.
Let's
let's say for
Make-A-Wish
adults.
Day with KFC Radio ends with John and Kevin in prison.
I think you come in, you have to like you come in, you clown Jackie right away. You get to make fun of her and say like some shit about her. You sit down and we do like a dumb hypothetical question.
Mm-hmm.
We talk for a little bit. You get to eat like an abundance of candy. It's like, John's the candy guy. You get like all the candy in the world.
Get a tattoo.
Get a tattoo.
Yeah, link you up.
You get a tattoo. You eat your
Chug a
candy,
pirate
make
water.
fun of Jake. Chug a pirate water.
Here's the thing. The thing that is, I guess, is nice to hear because you'll see that everything is quite real. We don't really do anything but talk into microphones.
I know.
There's really not much
That's
we
why
do.
I'm saying we are like the I said it a few weeks ago. We're like the podcasters. We don't do anything else and then promote it with our podcast. We just podcast. We just talk. I can't even think of something
This is so
so
demeaning.
depressing. Like,
yeah.
like some little kid being like, "I'm gonna die tomorrow. and I can.
We'll kill you.
I can either do. Honestly, that would be it.
That'd be it.
Well, killyourdad.com. Like we'll kill you in a safe way.
We get to live out our fantasy.
It's a murder suicide. But the fact that we could be like, yo,
We'll teach you how. Be like, you want to end it soon? I got a few ideas.
up the river, down across the
Pop
river.
out my notebook. I'm like, oh, good. Look at this.
Got some tips here.
This one, 3 a.m. last night. Just an idea popped in. You know, we're just spitballing here, okay?
Do you think if you hit some kid, like he's dying, you got 24 hours to live, you could either do the full Casey radio experience or just sit on your couch and die? I think he's taking the couch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right?
Dude, have you seen London Has Fallen yet?
There's so many better ways you could spend your time than this. All right,
He's like,
next.
so Aaron Eckhart's the president? Yeah, you don't have to see the first one. You'll catch up.
What's going on, KFC Fights crew? Was listening to a true crime podcast the other day because I am like all the other girls that love true crime, unimportant. Anyhow, they interviewed a juror, and he was like, I was the one guy who thought he was guilty or whatever, and he's like, I held out for like a couple days and eventually I just gave in. My question for you both is, if you were on a jury, and let's say it's like a capital murder, so you're going to send the guy to death, and you think he's not guilty, but everyone else, all the 11 other jurors think he's guilty.
Earlier this episode literally said whichever side the majority is going.
You guys hold out before you're like, okay.
Yeah, we're good.
You know
We're
what?
good.
I don't want to.
This is a perfect bookend for that. Because, yeah, I'd be like, if I was ever on a jury, I would go, I'm going last. And whatever the first 10 thought,
here we go.
Yeah, bring him up. Bring him up.
Yeah.
Like,
Now, I don't know if you guys know
every
this.
room
We'll
I step
tend to
into,
argue.
I just want to walk out where everyone goes, hey, pretty nice guy.
Yeah.
And if I'm the guy who's like, no, guys, I think he's innocent. They're like, this guy's a pain in my ass. Just fucking fry him.
I think I would be much more inclined to dig my heels in on an innocent guy, someone that I think's innocent and is getting called guilty.
Yeah. Like if he's getting set
versus,
free, like, he probably won't do it again.
Right. Like
he at least looked sorry.
He's pretty scared. He got scared straight. If I
this whole 2-week process has been a real nuisance too. He's like,
he missed his shows. He hasn't gotten to eat what he wants. He's sleeping in the wrong bed. I would dig my heels in. I would be the worst juror, depending on my mood in that moment. But you know me, like you know what I mean. I'd be fighting for days on end. Like, I just don't think he did it. I don't think he did it.
oh,
You
see,
know?
I would be whatever
Right.
way the wind blows.
Right.
Yeah.
But like it all depends on the case. You know what I mean? If it's like something I don't care about, I'd be like, whatever. But if it's like I can put my shoes in it, like as we've seen, if I can apply it to myself, I'm like, wait a minute, fuck this. This could happen to me. And then
Unless
I would be
the-
the guy that people fucking hate.
It would depend on like jury rules. I don't know what it's like, but if like it's Pizza Friday, and it's Thursday, I'm like, oh god, you guys not hungry.
Skip work. Come in another day.
You fellas say we deliberate a little
Eat
longer.
some pizza. Devil burger.
I love a Fat Tony's meatball sub, and they said I can have whatever I want tomorrow.
You know what I realized? I all
What if
my
there was a
life-
cute girl on the jury?
Oh yeah, I'm trying to stay the whole time.
Yeah,
That's like being a cute girl on the
think-
train. Like you have jury duty girl is like
You think
better than
like
train girl.
You think in a week, you'd be like what do you
What's up,
think,
girl?
Like,
Yeah, like,
if
that
that,
was crazy.
I would be a real pain in the ass if she was the one who was like, I think he's guilty or I think he's innocent, and I'd be like, I'd be
Me
with her.
too,
I'd be
babe.
like, these guys are so stupid.
Yeah.
Like,
Let's just me.
you're
you.
so right.
You're so
I,
smart.
I couldn't.
You're
believe.
so beautiful and smart.
Meanwhile,
It's-
she's texting my friends. I have chlamydia. So the other jurors are texting her like, just so you know, he has chlamydia.
See you flirting over there. That guy's piss burns yellow hot. Next out.
Come on, guys! Fucking, like, we're trying to save you guys' life. I'm like, I'm trying to murder pussy, bro.
What up, KFC Radio? Fights. The crew behind the camera. Got a quick Am I the Asshole for you. So I was going out on a second date with this chick. We're no longer dating, and you'll see why. So we're going down to this bar, and she's like, hey, is it okay if my dad and stepmom come with us? I was like, in my head, I was thinking, they're gonna pay for the meal. I'll get a free meal and maybe a drink out of it, right? I did, so I was like, yeah, sure, why not? The more the merrier. I'll meet him. I go in. First thing I notice before even shaking hands, I know the stepmom. She's my age. Like, she's the age of me and the chick I was seeing. And so I was like, oh, okay. Also, I know her because she was currently married to a coworker of mine. So I was a little confused and flabbergasted. I was like, what the fuck is going on? So I was like, okay, shit. Throughout the night, I go to the bathroom. I come out of the bathroom. The stepmom comes and like corners me. It's like, hey, don't say a word. Don't worry about it. Just like none of your business. Boom, I'll tell you about it later. Night ends. We all go our separate ways. And apparently she forgot to tell me and explain it to me later. So I was like, okay, whatever. I was gonna go to work. Boom. A couple days later, my coworker at work is like, hey, question, do you know about this dude? I explained the situation to him. I was like, yeah, a couple nights ago I went on this weird double date with this chick and her mom, stepmom and dad and whatnot. Like, explain the situation. He yells at me, cusses me out, pisses, he's like, I can't believe you couldn't tell me right away. Like, what the hell? What? I was like, okay. About like, not even an hour later, I get a call from the stepmom / wife, and it's like, hey, what the hell? What are you doing? I can't believe you. What, blah, 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 blah. She's pissed at me. Okay. The next day, like under 2 days later, I get a text from the chick I was seeing. She's like, hey, what kind of asshole breaks up and splits up a couple that just got married? Apparently, I was the reason why the dad and the stepmom broke up within like the last few days. Filed for divorce, all this stuff because of, me. So, just curious, like, who's the asshole in that situation of all the parties involved? Like, I don't think it's me, but
notes.
Tell me what you think.
Someone give me Cliff Notes.
You what? Francis and Kelly are going at it.
But what?
What do you think? It's all caught on camera, apparently. Screaming and yelling about feminism and shit. Francis dropped a, who is Sonia Sotomayor? I can't even say it. Yeah. Sonia Sotomayor. How did that make its way? Yeah. I guess she said she's a feminist, and he was like, oh, yeah, who's Sonia Sotomayor?
She gave the commencement speech at my brother's graduation, so I know her.
That's funny. How do you say it's Sotomayor, right?
Sotomayor, yeah.
Sotomayor. Sonia Sotomayor is a... So
I actually, I'm going to be honest, I have no idea.
Yeah, I think it's funnier this way. Like, sometimes you just tell a story so bad. Like, think about that guy.
My phone's on Do Not Disturb mode, and I was like, I gotta look at my phone. I mean, it wasn't like I got a notification like I have to check that. I was like, there's got to be something else to do right now.
Phone and find something.
I feel bad with this, when I do this because, like, someone took the time and they appreciate the show. And they take the time.
Come on. That's like, how can you be so into our show that you call and you don't look down at your video and see like 2 minutes 57 seconds being like, this is probably too much.
It was jump to like the middle. Let's because he was out with a girl and he recognized the stepmom. We used to work together.
So she's used to date a coworker, right?
Date a coworker, okay.
And then he ruined the marriage.
A couple days later,
he says a couple days later, 1,000 times.
My coworker at work is like, hey, question, do you know about this dude? I explained the situation to him. I was like, yeah, a couple nights ago I went on this weird double date with this chick and her stepmom and dad and whatnot. Like, explain the situation. He yells at me, cusses me out, pisses. He's like, I can't believe you couldn't tell me right away. Like, what the hell? I was like, okay. About like not even an hour later, I get a call from the stepmom / wife, and it's like, hey,
what the hell? What are you doing? I can't believe you. What? Why? What? Blah 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 blah. She's pissed at me. Okay.
Okay, I remember this part now. So I was tuned in for this for to hear the rest. I don't understand what happened.
I get a text from the chick I was seeing. She's like, "Hey, what kind of ass?"
No, go back to before that. He never tells.
I just got married. Apparently, I was the reason.
No, go before. Like,
Wait, just play that though. I was the reason what?
Why they broke up? But what? Why do they know each other? Why does everyone know each other? Dude, his voicemail stinks.
Stinks.
Why did like? He told it. So he told his friend, "Do you recognize this girl?" His friend was like, "Why the fuck didn't you tell me?" He's like, "What are you talking about?" And then the marriage breaks up. Like, you're missing so much of the story. It was a lot. Don't add any more. But like,
this voicemail stinks. If we were trapped in like the Arctic, who would we eat first out of the team? Looking at you, big boy.
Me? I was gonna say me.
Yeah. I think we would just feed the most of us. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say me for that reason.
No, I mean.
Your
Colleen's
boy's
like an appetizer. She's not.
Your boy's at a
We're
cool
not- we're not-
226. Where you at, Nick?
Right around there.
Here on there.
Maybe a coin flip between you guys.
Yeah.
I might be, like I'm like veal. I'd be like probably tasty.
Yeah. I don't care for veal. No, I don't. Yeah.
You want gamey, like, thick, strong meat.
I like a thick, strong meat.
I think
I like a Martin Luther King monument meat. Can we put the picture in that so everyone knows what I'm talking about?
Remember that thing?
I saw it live in person for the first time.
How was it?
Looks more like eating pussy than a big dick in person because you see like both hands like this.
Oh, so it's like
I mean, I have a dream. Fucking munching barn.
If we had to vote, silent vote, no questions asked, who do you think it would be? Right?
Yeah,
Nick?
probably me.
Who would you guys vote for?
I'd vote for me.
Probably fights. Yeah.
You'd like to eat him. You want to kill him and eat him.
Yeah, I think he's
Yeah.
first up. Yeah. I think he would let us. I think he'd be like,
That's the
I get
thing.
it,
It's
yeah.
almost like
But
I
I'm
think
pretty
Nick would win
cool.
the fight.
we know.
I'd keep throwing it out. I'd be like, you guys should probably kill someone.
it's like day one.
Yeah.
We have like a stash of food from the plane that crashed. And we're eating like filet mignon. John's like, you better get some human flesh going. I'm being over here with a gun.
Like I get one winch. I'm like, ooh, Jesus. You guys, if I was you guys, I'd fucking kill the biggest person here.
I love it. Time for our interview. We got Tank Sinatra, one of the, all-time great internet users.
Yeah.
Ever in the history of the brief history of the internet. We do things kind of like be funny and fucking let the chips fall where they may. And Tank, his real name is George, is a very funny guy and he's clever, but he also, knows what the fuck he's doing. Man, if we had someone like him in the early days,
Yeah.
just being like, no, do it this way and it'll work. Like, fucking A. So
I had to gain some followers in the last year.
all things internet. Me and him did a little powwow on Jay-Z at the end. We ate some Irish soda bread. It's a good interview with our boy Tank. Let's get into it.
And taking followers. The banker is called the Zuck,
Okay.
which I like.
Yeah.
Sent him a game.
Yeah.
He loves it.
That's awesome. You gotta get.
I have a relationship with Mark Zuckerberg, which is
didn't
weird.
you have him on a Zoom or something like that?
Him and Adam Mosseri brought me into their live live stream, which was
That's fucking wild.
Bro,
Like,
I had-
unexpectedly, right? Or no, you knew it was coming.
I had no idea. I had just finished doing an hour of cardio on the Stairmaster at my house, shirtless, typing jokes, like telling Mark. I was like, this is how it started. I wrote, Zuck, you really gave us meme gold when you slathered all that sunscreen on your face.
Yeah.
And Adam saw it and he goes, ooh, Tank, I'm just going to bring this up. And then he brought it up, and then Zuckerberg was like, yeah, I was trying to protect myself from the paparazzi. Then it became a conversation in the live. And then I wrote something like...
Oh, you just put on too much sunblock. Shut the fuck up.
No. Have you seen the picture?
The one where he's like slathered
That
on?
was his rationale for it. He wanted to protect himself from the paparazzi being able to take pictures. But
That's
It was just.
Oh, I thought he was. I was giving him too much credit. I thought he was making a joke, and I was like, "That's pretty good, actually."
That is a
Maybe it was. I don't know.
Anyway, so
my adrenaline was through the roof because they were talking to me. So
yeah, that's crazy.
So then I said,
and they knew, because you're one of the bigger and earlier Instagram users.
Yeah,
they
Adam.
knew who you were.
Adam had sent me a message the day before saying this is going to happen. Come watch it. And then I just got like bold, and I was like, "Hey, if you guys need the perspective of a creator on this live,
Take that
I'm
chance.
ready to go."
Yeah.
And Adam goes, "Do you want to bring Tank in here?" And I was shirtless, red, sweating, and they go, "Yeah." I got the request. I ran down, got a sweatshirt, went into my office, turned the lights down so you couldn't see that I was legitimately 103 degrees, and they asked me some questions, and it was great. It was fun.
Do you get a following from something like that?
I do remember because he reposted the live and tagged me in it. That helped. I also did a collaborator post with Mark Zuckerberg. I forget what it was exactly.
I remember that. I remember seeing that. I forget what it was too, but I remember seeing that. Being like, God damn, Tank's collabing with Zuck.
Yeah, it was when the collaborator post was first introduced. It was a get in loser. We're going to something.
Yeah,
I
remember
him in a
that.
car. I forget what the joke was, but yeah, I mean, I was.
And is that someone you talk to? Like you said, a relationship. Like how often do you talk to Zuckerberg? Like that to me, like that's mind blowing. That's crazy. Like Zuckerberg just because talking to you, exceptionally normal, fun guy. Yeah. My perception of Zuckerberg is that like you two couldn't have a conversation.
Yeah, like do not.
No,
he's
he likes memes. He loves memes.
Yeah.
I believe. Listen,
I mean, at his heart, he's an internet nerd who, like, you know what I mean?
He loves the internet.
Yeah, right.
It just got out of control. Right. He made a fucking website to rate chicks in his dorm room,
right.
And now it's the largest nation by population in the world.
Now it chooses governments.
Like,
dude, could you imagine that? If
I want to know if
like,
my
truth
friend's
serum.
single or not, and it's like now
who should the president of Guatemala be?
What? Like I just did it to find that chick I wanted. Like I wanted her to hook up with me.
I mean, if the social network is telling a real story, I did it to motherfuck a girl who rejected me.
Broke up with me. Yeah,
crazy.
Well, at the heart of I remember learning this in creative writing. At the heart of every story that means anything to anybody, there's some kind of tension or usually romantic conflict that results in an amazing achievement.
Yeah.
Right.
And that, I mean, this is art imitating life or life imitating art or whatever.
Yeah, her name should be as famous as like Helen of Troy.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know.
You changed the
world
structure
forever.
of the world.
How do you think she feels about all of it?
Yeah, for real.
You think she wishes she stayed with him so Trump never got elected?
Dude, there's an alternate universe.
She went to BU probably.
Oh my
There's
God.
an alternate universe where those two just had a shitty, lame college relationship, and the whole world.
They
was
got
fucking
married,
different.
had kids.
Yeah, and like we're still on like Tumblr. or some
MySpace
shit.
died in 2005, and we all just went back to normal life.
Make sure you subscribe to KFC Radio on YouTube to get all the video content. Subscribe, comment, like, and make sure you turn on the bell notifications so you know whenever new video content drops.
I want to say something, but the video has to be faster. That's it.